Hello, Nibber. This is Novels and Bits podcast, and I am your favorite host, Chizoba Katie. How are you doing? Okay, really, we are diving right back into the story where we left off. We have been doing Restore Me by J.L. Seegers, All Black cast, let's go. Now, in this part of the story, we have it that Sloane and Dom, they have something heating up between them, but it's not quite clear where they're at yet in this relationship thing, okay? Mal, Sloane, and Mama, they go to have a full girls' day. Mal and Sloane are former sister-in-laws, current best friends and business partners. And Mama is Mal's mom and former mother-in-law of Sloane, or still is. The point is they're all close. So those women, they go to have a full girls' day. When Sloane returns from it, Lauren calls her. Lauren is Sloane's mom and they don't have a great relationship. Lauren turns the conversation to be that, I'm trying to be caring, that's why I called you. But Sloane knows that the only reason her mother called her is that she wants to get gossip. As per, I saw you the other day go out with business mogul, rich man, real estate mogul, Ash. Is something going on between both of you? Oh yeah, tell me now. Am I going to hear wedding bell soon? That's why Lauren called as per, oh, my daughter is finally dating man of my taste. Let me know more about it so I can tell all my club women so that they can envy me. That's the reason why she called. Sloane knows that. But even with that, knowing that her mother called for this reason and snapping at her for it, after the call ends, Sloane is still feeling bad, like, I should not have snapped at my mother. I don't know how people still have soft spots for parents that are like this. Maybe it's because I'm a boss person, but I have very little tolerance if you're going to be like this, honestly. I'll just be like, just do your day, let me do my day. Let all of us know that we are cool and distant, okay? Now, after the call, regardless, Sloane has a date tonight with Dom because they want to set out the contract terms of whatever thing this is. They want to this is mission, satisfy Sloane's skin hunger, okay? She does offer a date with Dom. Now, when he shows up for this date, he's mouth-watering, according to her, in all black. It's simple but expensive t-shirt, jeans that hug his thighs and probably make his ass look amazing, and low-top Converses. Simple. Like, why are men just so low effort and looking hot? Dom reads her so well because when she says he looks good, he smacks. And he has idea of her thoughts. Because her thoughts are basically like, could we just keep this dinner and, just get into the house and get down to things, okay? She's worried about where they're going to because just the other day she was out on dates with Ash. They ran into her parents. Anywhere they can go in New Haven, in this place, they'll probably run into someone that knows them. So that's what she's avoiding, and they're not meant to be having a public arrangement. Whatever they're having is meant to be private between the both of them. So are they even supposed to be going out? And this is a Saturday. Everybody's out and about. Sloane and Dom arrive at this hotel that in the past, Sloane has come here with her parents. In the elevator car, just elevator taking them up to the rooftop. They get naughty. There's a list of dangerous things to try out with life partner. And I'm getting some inspiration from here. When I am married with my husband, there are things I want to try out just to spice up marriage. Because that's the only thing I really gleaned from all these spicy romance novels. Excuse you. Now, when Dom still doesn't want her to return the favor, she starts overthinking. Because, he kind of gives her some pleasure there in the elevator car while they go up to the rooftop. But he doesn't want her to, touch him back or anything. She's like, this guy does not strike me like the waiting type, okay? Because in their freshman year, she heard from Eric that Dom had a lot of women coming in and out of the room like crazy. He had a harem of women that he was just doing. Because we know from Dom's perspective that all those women was just him trying to get his mind off Sloane. Not the best thing to do. You could get a lot of XDS that way. However, that was what happened. She's just thinking that he wants to renegade on the offer. Like he wants to reject the offer and not want to go through with it because he's thought it through and sneaking around might not just be worth it for him. He's hot, he's handsome, he's successful. He can get a woman who is less complicated than her, right? So maybe he has thought about it and he really doesn't want to do this thing with her. This whole let's, satisfy my skin hunger for a few weeks and end things so that our loved ones don't find out, and, it's all messy. You get, truthfully, if things actually go badly between Dom and Sloane, it would actually be her who takes the brunt. Because if anyone finds out about them, at best, she's going to be the lying whore that spent her whole marriage lusting after her husband's best friend and finally seducing him. At worst, she's going to be the shameless SLUT who did her husband's best friend while he was still alive and kept up the affair after he was gone. And Dominic will be painted as a victim as well. She's a siren that was seducing men up and down. Now, the first thing she wants to discuss once they come to this dinner is an end date for the arrangement. She's not even thinking, oh, what's it going to involve? And this, it's when does it end? That's what the first we need to even sort out here. So that people don't find out and it becomes complicated, like I am doing my late husband's best friend. In fact, when they come to the rooftop, it dawns on her that, we're the only people here. So we're not even going to run into anybody. Because Dom had thought ahead and he had rented out the entire rooftop just for their dates. It trumps Ash's reservation by far, because Ash, when they went out on a date, he actually took her to an expensive, fancy restaurant. But this thing that Dom has done, this renting out rooftop just for them to have dates, it passed his own. No, it passed the one that Ash did, even with Ash's wealth being maybe bigger than Dominic's own. We don't know. But it looks like Ash is more rich than Dominic. But you won't really know because Dominic is someone that manages himself well, his finances well. And how did he even get to pay, rent out a place that is highly coveted for? Apparently, the owner of the place owes him a favor because he's a contractor there. But that talk is still coming on because these are people that came to have dinner, right? But his hands come up to cradle her face. He rubs small circles on both her cheeks before leaning down and brushing his nose across hers 3 times. That brushing his nose across hers 3 times signature that she does not know it means I love you. His mother used to do it for him when he was small and he's doing it to her now. So there, at the rooftop restaurant where they are, there's only one server there to attend to Dominic and Sloane. And Sloane is antsy. She wants them to rush dinner so they can return home for the action. When Dom asks her, why even in such a rush? Because normally women love to be dined. She admits that, I don't know how long these arrangements would be for, so I won't just use every available second and satisfy this skin hunger, okay? Now, Dawn reminds her that, see, the purpose why we're even having this dinner is to establish the rules for our relationship. She squirms because she made a vow after her husband died not to allow herself that kind of happiness and love again. Because she's thinking, he probably thinks putting a label on it will make me feel safe and secure in this mess we're about to make. Because normally when women want to enter into some kind of physical relationship, like friends with benefit situation, normally, they're the ones you want to protect because they're the ones that will catch feeling first. They're the ones that will be hot when the guy wants to stop because guys are more, emotionally distant or so they say. But in this case, she actually does not want to be entangled with him emotionally. But she's thinking, oh, maybe he's trying to do this dinner so that he can protect me. But me, I know that I have even sworn before now I'm not going to love any person the way I loved my husband who is late. Someone calls Dom's phone. He ignores it twice. Sloane asks him to take the call. And when Dom says, it's Kristen, she wants to eat her words. Because, like I said, her and Kristen don't like each other. So Dom moves away from the table and patiently listens while Kristen vents about something. Meanwhile, the server, the single server that is attending to them compliments Sloane that it must be so nice to have a boyfriend like Dom. And Sloane uses a tone Lauren uses of women who get over friendly with Mac. That is, Lauren and Mac are Sloane's parents. Like, Sloane's mother is one socialite, upper-class woman. That's when women are being overly friendly with her husband. And they're like, oh my gosh, your husband is really handsome. Oh my gosh, it must be so nice having a husband as a husband. And they come with this tone of, ooh, we admire your husband. She uses it. That is a tone her mother will just use to shut down those women and let them know he is married to me. Go away. That's the tone Sloane pulls out here for this server. Now, when Dom returns to the table, he's insisting that Kristen is just used to calling me because we're friends, and she's used to venting to me. But Sloane sees this call for what it is. Kristen is calling him on a Saturday night, when she knows that most people are out and about looking to get laid or looking for a date. That is her trying to basically get in the way of whatever Dom is up to this evening. Now, back to the discussion. Sloane's condition is that there must be an end date because of her relationship with Mal and Mama. Dom understands her reasons are valid though, and he accepts it. And she's surprised. So you're not going to fight me on the end date anymore. He's like, no. But privately, he thinks, yes, just not in the way you think. He's now still telling her, you make some good points, and I don't want anything to get in the way of this. In his mind, of me claiming your body and soul, of me etching myself into your lungs until you can't effing breathe without me. He plans to make her unable to let go after 8 weeks. That's the time that they agreed on, because apparently 8 weeks is a time that they have left on working on the project together. The client that employed both of them, where she's interior designer and he's a contractor, they have 8 weeks to get that hotel project done. So that 8 weeks is the time frame they put on, oh yeah, we're gonna, screw around and satisfy Sloane's skin hunger within that time frame. Now, his own rules, exclusivity. I want you in my bed every night. We'll have to spend all day long pretending like nothing has changed between us when everything has. And while I understand your reason and know the only way I can live through it is if I know you be coming home to me when the day's over. Dumb. This is dumb. Home to me. You'll be coming home to me, baby. Let her continue to think this is temporary after spending every night sleeping in his arms. He's basically ambushing her and she is not seeing anything coming. So the next reason, okay, so which house are we going to be having this deal done at? It cannot be Dom's house, because Dom's house, Eric actually lived there with Dom before he married Sloane. Sloane was living with Mal. That's Mama's rules as far. She doesn't want both of them living together until they're married. But that did not still stop the two. That Sloane is going to come over, stay over at Eric's room. That is the room in the room of the house he was sharing with Dom. And Dom will be hearing both of them do it in the night. You understand? So based off on, I did my husband in that house, I don't want to go there and do you in that same house. Even though Dom has refurbished the house, reconstructed it in many ways and doesn't look like the same house. Still, Sloane does not want them to be having this sleepover thing at Dom's house. Okay? So they have to settle that, okay, this arrangement thing is going to be happening at Sloane's house. And yes, Mal has the key to Sloane's house. That means she can show up anytime. So Sloane is going to have to tell Mal, see, babe, you're going to have to be calling me before you pop out of my house. Or if you don't do that, I'll take my key back. Okay? Mal really doesn't question it when Sloane eventually tells her, because Mal just goes, you and Ash been doing it? Okay, fine, I get it. You have a man up in your bed, so I'm going to respect you. That privacy, that kind of girl code thing. It's even a miracle that Mal knocked on that money, and even gave Sloane a heads up, like, yeah, I'm coming to your house. Normally she'll just show up as per, what's up? Who home? Maybe she called based on as per, okay, Sloane was on a date a few days ago and she might have someone over, not really thinking or knowing that it would be dumb or what situation it was under. You understand? Any reason could have just made Mal say, hey, I'm going to be someone who respects someone's privacy today. But Mal is just not usually that person. This whole thing is going to be happening at Sloane's house. The whole coming back home to me every day thing. And Dom's car, he's going to be parking his car inside the garage because no one goes there. Instead of leaving it parked in front of the house, he's going to be parking inside the garage. So after the date is over, Dom, he rushes to his apartment to pack a bag and he's not paying attention. He doesn't pay attention to the fact that there is a coat hanging over and there are signs that somebody's in his house until he sees a buck naked Kristen in his bed with her hair coily. Kristen's hair is normally bone straight. The person who has coily hair is Sloane. And Kristen, for some reason, made her hair coily just like Sloane's. Does she know Dom has interest in Sloane? Anyhow, Kristen propositions Dom and he just gently refuses, making her angry. What's your problem? Everything was going so great with us until a few weeks ago. We were getting back on track, working our way back to each other, back to where we were, and you lost your effing mind and broke up with me. Now, Dom is gently apologizing, like, I did not mean for any of this to happen. I told you that we should end things and then I should not have let this whole friends with benefits thing happen. I'm really sorry. He gives her clothes, asks her to get dressed while he waits in the living room. So he's still trying to back out of the room. Now he's close to the door when she throws something just beside his head. And there is a glass there, like a framed picture there. What she throws shatters the glass on the left side of his head. It's a picture of him and his late mom. And that time, that was his late mother. She was so sick then, she was fighting cancer at the time. And she still had the energy to throw a surprise party for him, a last surprise party. It was actually not a surprise to him anymore because his father had told him beforehand spitefully. When he entered the party that was supposed to be a surprise, he had to fake surprise, and his father was gloating. Like, yeah, I already bring the surprise for you. Just like to take out every good thing away from Dom's life, really. But that picture was taken then. This picture that Kristen shattered was taken on that day. She's just being cruel right now. And he didn't know she had that kind of cruelty in her. She just told him that she's leaving. He now tells her, I'm going to call you tomorrow to check on you. She has sadness all over her features. She just says, F you, Nick. Everybody calls him Nick, okay? For short. Now, when Dom returns to his car, there's a bandage over his hand. He refuses to answer where he got the cut from, afraid that Sloane, she's not going to want to have anything to do with him if she finds out that his ex was just up in his house. He almost lies about it. And she sees him try to lie to her. She's like, what? But what she concludes is, oh my gosh, is he trying to lie because he's changed his mind about this arrangement? And that's when they now like, what? No, that's not it. He now tells her in plain words, let's be clear. Whatever the price is for being with you, I'll happily pay it. I'll give up my soul for a moment of your time. I'll sell everything I own for a night in your bed. There's no sacrifice I wouldn't make to hear you laugh, make you smile, or shield you from pain. His words suit her, but at the same time, she includes the new rule. No lying. You were about to lie to me just now. Don't do that. Okay? And Dom is an intense guy. I mean, we can feel that coming off him like boom, 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 boom. Okay? Parked in front of her house, that is Sloane's home, Dom finally tells her about Kristen, that Kristen was bursting at his house and he's taking his spare key back from her. Sloane doesn't hide her I told you so look, but she's angry to hear about the smashed picture and how it caught Dom. Now, the I told you so look comes from when she was trying to tell him on the rooftop that Kristen is still very interested in you. That's why she's calling you on a Saturday. She wants to booty call you. And he's like, no, we're friends. I mean, she used to vent to me about this, And he went home and saw her, laying in bed there waiting for him, okay? That's the look she gave him, like, I told you that's what she wanted. And he just tells her, calm down, Angel. I don't think she was trying to hit me. So how she goes, don't defend her, Dominic. Even if she wasn't aiming for you, there's nothing okay about her throwing things at or around you. Who does that? Dom is even surprised she's not angry about the Christian thing in the way he thought. That she's not like, oh, you have another woman. That's complicated. I don't want that. She just tells him, hey, we've both got stuff. But besides the stalker ex-girlfriend and your tendency to be an a-hole sometimes, you're pretty perfect. And she's just like, God, did I just call this guy perfect? She's just like, well, I think I'm the one with too much going on. No one wants a heartbroken widow who... And Dominic cuts and do not finish that sentence, Sloane. Because she was about to say no one wants a heartbroken widow who is still deeply in love with her late husband. He is not holding that against her. It's part of her and he accepts it. He recognizes that. He accepts it. And honestly, which man would? But anyhow, maybe that's why they're suited for each other. Now onto the, bedroom stuff. Dom doesn't touch her. He's like, there's not going to be anybody doing anybody today because I want you to learn how to take care of yourself. Take care in quotes. He watches her, basically like, let me watch you do yourself, Now, he looks so cool and indifferent while just watching her like, yeah, I'm just watching a show, like some stripper performing. Now, to rile him up, because she doesn't like that, he just looks so cool and detached. Maybe I'll get someone else to take care of my needs when this is done. Then I won't need your parting gift at all. Would that make you feel better? Because apparently he's telling her that his parting gift to her is that she learns how to bring herself pleasure, okay? Now, when she says this thing to rile him up, it does rile him up because what she gets is a sharp slap to her derriere. Dominic's expression is a mixture of dark emotion. Fury, desire, possessiveness is brimming in the dark pools of his eyes. So what he now tells her is, let's prepare for the inevitable moment where you let another man in your bed and realize too late that his touch does nothing for you because I've ruined you for anyone else. She knows it's true when he says it. And I still don't understand how she does not recognize it. Ambush her. Like, lady, I'll be the only one for you the rest of your life, okay? Now, 3 weeks into the arrangement, there is still no penetrative anything happening. But Sloane is a woman who is satisfied regularly. No one, James and Mo, has noticed anything different between her and Dominic, because he still pretends to hate her in public, but behind the scenes, they be doing each other. They be climbing each other like dogs. Now, there is a date coming up with Mal and Chris. Chris is Mal's old flame from college who left for medical school on the other side of the country, breaking her heart. And Mo has never gotten over it. Sloane hates him for it. And she's worried about, is this date going to go well? So she's talking about it with Dominic, because Dominic is also friends with Chris. They were all friends with Eric and Chloe, and it's a circle of friends kind of thing that go way back from college. Sloane is concerned because Mal is her best friend, and she's now telling Dominic that I'm concerned about this date because he really hurt her, Dominic. Like Chris really hurt her. Do you know what it's like to have your heart ripped out like that? To be shattered by someone and left alone to pick up the pieces? Dominic has this tortured expression that tells her that he relates. And Sloane wants to kill the woman who did that to him, who shattered him, who left him alone to pick up the pieces. And he puts words to it and says, I have. And I know what it would mean to me to have that person own it, to hear them say they're sorry, letting me pick out the pieces of my heart alone. And that's what Chris is trying to do to Mo. Do to Mo, do for Mo. Yeah, so this is where we'll end this episode for today. Thank you so much for listening, for spending your time on this when you could have been doing so many other things, for giving me a chance to grow with you. I really appreciate it so much. Please, wherever you're listening, leave a comment, leave a review. Please tell someone. It goes such a long, long way. I really appreciate you so friggin' much. All right, I love you. See you next episode. Bye.